Torrance Police Chief Jeremiah Hart has fired 13 other officers because of an ongoing investigation into messages he characterized as racism and hatred. These two cops were terminated in 2020. All right, y'all, let's talk about the drama with Jeopardy. Al Trebek, longtime host, dies of pancreatic cancer. This is one of the most sought-after jobs in television. It is a huge job, also very rich. Well, the executive producer, Mike Richards, basically chose himself. Sony says it went through all of these different research focus groups, but he was the executive producer of the show, and he put himself up for the job. Then he gets the job. Well, then we come to find out that Mike Richards made a lot of comments derogatory about women and others over the last number of years. It became so much that, well, he quit. This is the statement that he put out. It pains me that these past incidents and comments have cast such a shadow on Jeopardy as we look to start a new chapter. As I mentioned last week, I was deeply honored to be asked to host the syndicated show and was thrilled by the opportunity to expand my role. However, over the last several days, it has become clear that moving forward as host would be too much of a distraction for our fans and not the right move for the show. As such, I'll be stepping down as host effective immediately. As a result, we'll be canceling production today. SPT will now resume the search for a permanent syndicated host. In the meantime, we'll be bringing back guest hosts to continue production for the new season, details of which will be announced this week. I want to apologize to each of you for the unwanted negative attention that has come to Jeopardy over the last few weeks and for the confusion and delays this is now causing. I know I have a lot of work to do to regain your trust and confidence. The show will feature guest hosts until a new permanent host is chosen. See, the thing here, Brittany, first of all, a lot of people on social media really wanted LeVar Burton for this. The crazy thing is, how are you the executive producer who's in charge of guest hosts and what slots they get, but you're up for the job? You frankly are in power to sabotage the opportunity.
Well, that's clearly what's happened here. I think rest Alex Trebek's soul. But before he passed, there was an interview where he clearly said, "I want a black woman to replace me." I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but I remember seeing.
It's Laura Coates, who I had on many times on my TV1 show, who's now an analyst at CNN.
Yes, and I'm like, they didn't even, and correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't even let her guest host. So you don't follow Alex Trebek's wishes. You don't even let her guest host. Okay, a lot of people liked Burton. He was great. You don't let him in. So then you put yourself in, and then there was no one else to even check you, and you didn't even have the sense to check yourself. When this man has made such wild comments, I was looking today. I mean, he's talking about women, Asians, Jews. Are you kidding me? But I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised.
So now the question now, what now happens? And part of the issue with LeVar, he was slated to host the show the same week as the Olympics, Kelly.
And that was my point. It just feels like everyone is just trying to do their own thing when it comes to this. Obviously, Richard set himself up. That is his name, right? Richard. He set himself up. To get that job, and it felt like, to me, if you've ever been in a job selection search and you know that you're only there to meet their DEI quota so that the person internally can just get the job and they can say that they did everything they had to do. That's exactly what this feels like, because if you look at how LeVar Burton was set up to host Jeopardy, it was during the Olympics. The advertising during that time was terrible. I mean, it was a lot of pressure, and you can tell that he did not get the support of those in power regarding his guest hosting for that slot, as opposed to the other guest hosts. And then when you hear that Alex Trebek actually picked out a black woman to be his successor, and they just ignored him altogether, it's just disrespectful for some. It's just disrespectful, but also expected.
Jason.
Yeah, I was wondering why he would want, to go from executive producer to trying to be the host. I'm not sure why he would want that.
What do you mean why? No. This is Jeopardy. This is like the preeminent game show in America, high profile. and a bigger check than your executive producer check.
Okay, fair enough.
And apparently this guy grew up with game shows, had worked on others, and so basically this was like my shot, my dream shot, except his past caught up with his present.
Right. My other question is, and I don't know if you guys know the answer to this, but they were saying that Mayim Bialik was, I hope I'm saying that name correctly, Blossom.
Yeah.
I just know her as Blossom.
So so what happened was, so here's what they did. So they said she is going to be the host of the primetime or special shows, but here's the problem: only one is scheduled in the next year. So they try to act like, oh, it's two hosts. Man, we all know what that is. That wasn't even real. He was a real host.
Right. Well, I mean, you read what you sow. You start saying things. They're going to catch up to you. So he got what he deserved in the long run, and hopefully, I mean, he definitely set people up to fail, particularly popular people. Particularly people like LeVar Burton, even Aaron Rodgers, and set himself up to succeed and put himself in a position. He may not have made the call, but he certainly put himself in a position to be seen by a lot of people. And that's troubling, I think. But then again, as you know, as I've started to learn, TV is a dirty business. And there are a lot of places, I shopped a show to a particular network, and they took the name of the show that I had shopped them and gave it to someone else.
Oh, wow.
So, these things happen. So, it's a dirty business. And you don't have a whole lot of people with scruples in power.
That would be a time for hashtag Team Whip That Ass to show up. Just letting you know. You probably a lot more nicer than I am, but somebody would have got their ass whooped. I'm just letting you know. Folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Football bans and one of the best fan experiences in the country. The Cricket BX SWAC Challenge kickoff returns to Atlanta on August 28th, along with special guests, College Game Day. Then Alcorn State takes on North Carolina Central with conference bragging rights on the line. Center Park Stadium is the place to be on August 28th. Come tailgate all day before enjoying a primetime matchup on the gridiron. You don't want to miss this. Check out MEACSWACChallenge.com for more information.
Don't forget, folks, Roland Martin Unfiltered is going to be broadcasting live from Atlanta on Friday and Saturday. Friday, we'll be at the Atlanta Braves Stadium talking to the presidents of both universities, as well as officials with the SWAC and MEAC. Then on Saturday, we'll be at the Coca-Cola Fan Zone broadcasting live from that particular afternoon. And then, of course, we'll be live streaming the halftime show and the concert taking place after the game. You can watch it at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And we appreciate it in partnership with Coca-Cola of making this happen. See you next week.